I do think it's funny that you talk about what has a girl done to deserve me testing her and putting her in a place when literally you will fuck a girl for saying hello. Like there's
No,
a
I didn't say I'll fuck a
difference
girl
in
for saying
testing
hello.
that.
That's how you know you don't understand the game, Marcus. I said
Okay, no,
cooperation.
no, wait.
Cooperation.
If she cooperates by saying her name, that's enough.
It's not about her saying her name. It's about her being attentive to what I'm doing.
And
So I don't.
you
So I
gave
could.
the
So
example
I
of
can
her
tell. So
saying
for
her
example,
name. That was the example you gave.
for example, Marcus, right? I was in the street. I walked
Can't wait to
past
put all
this
those
woman.
clips together and be lying.
I turned around, and then I said, "Hey, you, come here." That's what I told her. She walked over to me after she done passed me. She came over and she was like, "What's up?" Right now, her coming over, walking back towards me is her showing cooperation and her actually doing what I'm saying. So even if I was in a fucking coffee shop and I say to a woman, the first thing I say out of my mouth, I can say, "Hey, pass me that straw real quick." If she passes me the straw, that's her cooperating. That's her listening to what the fuck I'm saying. You can laugh all you want because this is new to you. What I'm trying to get you to understand is, see, Marcus, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. The difference between me and you is this. I tell women what to do. Women tell you what you do. Because remember, you just said that if you told a girl to give you the number and then she says, "Oh, well, I ain't going to do this and to do that," and then you're still talking to her trying to make something happen.
The difference is I understand women. Let me ask you this. Why do you think she said, no. Why do you think she said, okay, let's come up with like maybe 2 or 3 possibilities if we understand women. Okay, I know it's gay to do so, but if she said, "No, I want to put it in your phone," why do you think she said that?
You said it again?
Every time I ask you a question, you
say you put her number in your phone,
if
Marcus?
you ask for a girl's number, like the example you gave last time, and she says, "No, I want to put it in your phone," can we think of 2 or 3 examples why she might be saying that?
Tell us why.
I'm never going to do it.
Tell us why. You tell us. Go ahead.
No, I'm asking you. Do you understand women? Do you have an idea? 2 or 3 reasons.
You're saying why would she be? So you're saying why would she be resistant to what you're saying?
Yes. Why would she say?
Because she's not highly interested in you. That's the only reason.
Okay, that's one example. Now, can we think of another?
No, that's the only reason. Every example you come up with is because she's not highly interested.
She could be doing it to see if you have a sense of humor. She could be giving just a little token resistance.
Exactly, because she's not highly interested in you. Because women who are highly interested in you do what the fuck you say. Why is this so hard to understand?
Okay, you don't understand women. Let me quickly explain. Eric, 100% true. I will add one more to that. She might feel a little bit needy here. If you've gone up and she's like, "Hang on, I haven't displayed to this guy that I know who he is. He hasn't displayed that he knows who I am." If I just come out and say, "Yep, I'll give you my number right now," she might think like, even if she likes you, this happens even more if she likes you. If the girl's really, really into you and she might think like, "Dude, I want to marry this guy. He's that fucking amazing." She's going to sit there and be like, "I don't want to seem easy. I don't want to seem like the girl that's just really needy. So I'm going to push back a little bit here." So the difference is
Marcus,
Eric understands women.
Let me
finish. Eric understands women, right? I'm sure Michael Sartain knew the answer to this too. I obviously know the answer to this. You have to ask us because you think the only reason a girl ever does anything is if she's highly interested or not highly interested. There's no nuance in between.
No, there isn't. Because check this out. If a person if a person was poor and they wanted a job really, really bad, right? They would go on an interview and the employer would ask them a bunch of questions and interview them and do all this other stuff. The person who's really wanting the job, do you think they're going to give the employer pushback? Do you think they're going to actually be like, "Well, let me give this employer a shit test"? No, because they want the thing badly enough to not actually do that bullshit.
That's a bad analogy, and I'll tell you why. Because when you go for an interview, it's positive to actually really want the job. You get points for that. But if you think about a negotiation, right? Say I want to buy your car.
But there's no negotiation. Marcus, that's the part you're not getting.
Let me finish. Say I want to buy a car and it's your car and I think, "Man, that I really want it. I want it so bad." I'm not going to go into the negotiation and say, "I really want this car so bad. Oh my God, please, I'll do anything for it." Because obviously now I get a shit deal. You're going to like charge me way more for this. So in a job interview, yes, you want to sound like you like the job. That's a positive thing.
Why? Because they really want the job,
It's not a job interview. When I speak to a girl, I'm not applying for a fucking job.
No. See, and that's my point. You think you're the person who's applying for the job.
You don't understand women
that your language exposes you. Shout out to Miles. You just said,
it's not a job interview.
Right.
You're the one saying it's a job interview.
You just put yourself in the potential employee position. Yes.
No. I said that's a bad analogy, and I'm not in a job interview with a girl.
You said you're the one
saying you're in a
job interview,
saying that you want to show her how badly you want the job. No, that's what you said. What
no,
are
you
rewind
it.
You're the one wanting to go into the interview and saying how much you want the job.
No, I'm saying the woman is the one who wants the job. And I'm saying because she wants the job badly, she's not going to give the potential employer resistance. And again, what I'm saying is that she's not going to give resistance because she wants it that badly. So if a woman is giving you resistance, she doesn't want you that badly. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I'll slow this down for you. Okay. I'll slow this down. Take a breath. I'll try explain this to you. Okay. In a job interview, if you're employing someone, you want to hear them say, I really, really want this job. Okay. And it's a positive thing to do so. There's nothing bad that comes from that. If a girl in an interaction with a man turns around and says, oh my God, I'm so desperate for you. I want you right now. There's a lot of guys that are going to look at her and be like, you know what? I don't want this needy fucking girl. And girls don't want to feel that. Again, I know it's gay to understand what the girl thinks, but she doesn't want to come across as needy and easy. Now, the only time you're going to close is when you get needy, desperate girls, which is why they're probably not that attractive, which is fine if you just want to turn around and be like, that's what I like, and looks don't matter,
Markus,
and I eat sand, then go for it, bro. It's just not going to work for most guys.
Markus, how often do you think women find guys that approach them extremely desirable? Do you think it's often or not often?
How often does a guy approach and a girl finds him incredibly attractive?
Yes, like desirable. Like she's like, he's that guy. I would do him today. How often do you think that happens?
That would happen for a girl that has very little standards.
No. I'm asking how often do you think that happens? Where women... Not often, yes. So what I'm saying is that if the opposite happens, meaning a guy she does find highly desirable, do you think she's going to try to fuck it up?
You pick two extremes. There's never nuance with you. Ever.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's black and white, Markus. That's what you're not understanding.
It's not black and white. You think interactions with women is just one of two things. It's just black and white. There's no variable. There's no nuance. This is your issue. That you got rejected by women, and your approach now is just go out there, say, I want to fuck you, and if she doesn't, you get the fuck out of there. There's more nuance. You can learn here, bro. Just stop being so protective.
Locario, there are women that are concerned with looking needy. Yes. Like just look at advice given to women, similar to how we study the game. Women study the game too, right? There's books out there for women. There's magazine articles. Not appearing needy is very, very common advice in the female dating sphere.
Yeah, for guys that they want to trick into wifing them up. If a woman is sexually desiring you, she don't give a fuck about the neediness because she wants the dick now. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. If a woman is highly sexually attracted to you, she wants to give you the pussy. Most women don't find guys highly sexually attractive, which is why they give you the resistance, which is why you got to take them out on 3 dates, which is why that's what I'm trying to tell you guys.
Do you think, okay, let's think, if you're a girl, again, gay, but if you were imagining yourself as a girl and you were really attracted to someone, say the girl walks in the club, they see Eric, they're like, damn, that beard, I fucking love it, he's my guy. Now, do you think that if she approached him and was like, oh my God, I want you right now, I want to fuck you, do you think there's some guys that might find that a little bit needy or desperate and they might look at her a little bit less so?
Do you think she cares if she wants his dick?
Do you think that might happen?
No. Do you think they care if they want his dick?
Do you think that might happen?
No, it won't, because all she cares about is getting his dick.
Guys with standards that are higher value are usually going to worry about things like that. So women know that if there's a guy with standards, I act super desperate, that might work on like.
But this is what, but Markus, this is what you're not getting.
Girls don't want to feel that way. They don't want to be judged that way. And if they really like a guy and they want to see him multiple times or even date him, they usually try to hold back a little bit there. That's why it's important as a guy to understand this and show her that, hey, if we have sex, this is going to affect. I'm not going to judge you.
Markus, are women desperate for dick? Are women desperate for dick? Do they They can no, of course they can get dick anytime, right? Yes.
They can get dick anytime, but just like
me, so if they probably have stand. No, wait. So if they can get dick anytime, let me finish. Then why would it be for desperate for them to grab the dick that wants to fuck them?
Let me finish, okay? A girl could get dick anytime that she wanted, but the type of dick she wants, she probably has a standard around. Same like me, right? I could go out and get like fucking, I could go on Tinder right now, go out and get any pussy. Like, I could just go out there and do that 100%. But I'm not. I'm going to be selective here. I'm going to test the girl a little bit. If she gives me some attitude, I'm going to give her some attitude back, see how she reacts. I'm going to build attraction. And when we get it back to the bedroom.
What's the standard you talk about where women need to get to take the dick? What's the standard?
Be real. Oh.
Hang on. Are you asking what women find attractive in a man?
No. I'm saying you said that women are going to want to fuck the guy based on their standard. What is the standard for a woman to want to fuck a guy she's sexually attracted to?
Yeah, you're asking what do they find it. So in terms of what they find attractive, it's going to be partially looks and it's going to be partially the behavior. It's going to be partially compatibility. There's a lot of things that influence attraction in the goal standards.
So if she's attracted to him like that, is she going to want to fuck him or not?
It's going to be subjective, but not random. Okay, there's going to be principles that girls in general find attractive amongst men.
What I'm telling you guys is this. See, this is
what are you telling us, bro?
No, this is the thing about it, right? Yeah, unfortunately, you have a lot of guys who don't really know. I think it's ironic that Markus says we don't understand women when it's the opposite.
You have zero idea, bro. You don't even know what they find attractive.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. Understand this. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, where I opened this is why I opened with this conversation. Women are going to act differently based on the men that they're dealing with.
Of course, there's nuance here. Of course, they're going to act differently depending on every single man. So you want to act attractive. Of course.
So Markus, this is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, Markus, so this is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that if a woman, if a woman wants the dick, do you think that she says, you know what? Let me give this guy who I want the dick from a hard time, or let me give this guy who I want the dick from an easy time? Which one you think?
Okay, I will explain because you have no understanding here whatsoever. Yes, if you go to Eastern Europe, girls will absolutely want the dick from you 1,000%, and they're going to tell you they don't, right? But the issue here is you hear that and you get upset, you feel rejected, and you walk away. Now, you can say it's masculine, right? Oh, this girl said no, so I'm going to walk away, blah, blah. But a really masculine guy that is intelligent, has influence, and has power can understand where she's coming from here. And if she's saying it because she's worried you're judging her, you show you're not judging her. You don't give a fuck. Once you show that she'll have sex with you, this has happened hundreds of times with me. So yes, if there's a girl that's really wanting dick, sometimes she'll push away certain feelings. Sometimes she won't worry about being needy, but that happens way less than women that are going to think about that, to worry about that, to have some concerns around that, and you need to work through them. Unless, of course, she's like a 2 out of 10, she's super desperate. I'm sure.
Markus, you didn't answer the question. If a woman wants dick, does she make it easy for the guy or hard?
I just answered that. Sometimes they will. I don't even see it as making it hard or easy.
No. What I'm saying is, if
you're
the woman wants
the wrong way, this is wrong with your mindset.
Do you have to speak to her for an hour or 7 hours, or will she fuck you that night in 2 hours or a minute or whatever?
Sorry, Eric. Let me just quickly answer this. If I go up to a girl and say, we're talking 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, we're talking about the type of sex we're going to have, she's really desperate for it, and then she says, you know what? I need to drop my house keys to my housemate that's in this club before we leave. I don't see that as hard or difficult. It's just a logistical concern that we have to get over. Let's drop the keys off. If she says, I'm actually really fucking nervous, I've never done this before and going home with a guy, yeah, I will take one sentence to rectify that. If she says, I don't want to feel like a slut, then I will rectify that. I don't think you're a slut. I think having sex is an amazing thing. More women should do it, right? So yes, one sentence I don't think is hard. It's just the reality of the situation. Women will sometimes have concerns even when they're highly interested. You don't understand that nuance, that's fine. You don't understand women, that's cool.
Would you need to take 3 hours? Would you need to take 3 hours or 5 minutes?
No, not 3 hours. Again, nuance. Would you need to take 3 seconds or 4 days? They're the only two options. Because I'm
3 seconds.
No,
3 seconds.
I'd take 20, 30 minutes, depending on the pool. Now, if there's friend objection, that will take a little bit longer. Sometimes it might take, up to an hour and a half, 2 hours, perhaps.
Let me jump in real quick. So there's 3 kind of broad things that are coming to my mind about how a woman is going to respond to a guy's advance. Number 1, as we all can agree to, it depends on her ideal. It depends on what she finds attractive. Not only her ideal man, but she has an ideal for the way the interaction goes down too. Some women don't have an ideal. Some women are very open to whatever. That is in and of itself an ideal as well. The other thing that comes into play is how attractive the woman believes she is compared to other women. Note, she doesn't have to actually be more attractive than other women. She only has to think that she's more desirable than most women, and there are behavioral changes that take place. We know this from experience, and this is actually backed by science as well. The third one that comes to mind is the woman will behave differently depending on how desirable she perceives the man in question compared to her desirability. So in layman's terms, if she thinks she's a 9 and she thinks the guy is a 7, and if she thinks she's a 9 and most women are 7s and 6s, and if the guy does not quite fit her ideal right off the bat, she's going to behave differently. There's going to be noticeable.
So Eric, so basically what you're saying is that if she is not highly sexually attracted to him, then she'll give him resistance because she's the 9 and he's the 7. Yes.
So when a woman thinks that she's more attractive than other women, there's going to be behavioral changes. And yes, one of those is, I'm a hot girl. I'm not easy. I don't just hook up with anybody. And yes, a guy with game who comes in, who has really tight game, can break some of that down to a certain degree. But generally speaking, when a woman believes that she's more attractive than most women, AKA a 10, or if she thinks that she's a 10 compared to some guy who's a 7 approaching her, I don't like using these terms, but I'm using them for emphasis, then she will generally need a little bit more of a nuanced, drawn out process. She's going to want.
And Blaze, thank you for saying this, because that's exactly what I'm saying. You literally just said what I said in a different way. You're basically saying if the woman sees you as a guy she's less attracted to, you're going to have to work more. Yes.
Yes. Now, again, she doesn't have to actually be more attractive than you. She needs to only think that she is.
That's what I'm saying. Either way.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's where the game comes in. Here's where the game comes in. Here's where a little neg comes into place. She thinks she's up here. And then when we neg in a calibrated way, she goes, oh, he actually is on my level.
So you have to, trick her into thinking that you're on her level more attractive.
No, I'm just demonstrating to her that her programming is off. She's a robot and she perceives me as being lower value. And then I say, you're not computing this properly. We're on this.
So you have to tell her,
and then all of a sudden she goes, oh,
about what she felt
and now
about you.
We're on the same level. What?
Well, Locario, but what if you do it passively? Like, for instance, I don't know if this has ever happened, but you've probably, garnered a name in Brooklyn, right? You've probably gone out before and had a girl say, oh, I recognize you from something, which maybe gives you a little bit of a leg up. We talked about this before. You said you wouldn't fuck a girl if she just liked your podcast, right? If she just liked your YouTube channel. And I think that's the only place where I agree to disagree. If a girl is a fan of my YouTube channel and wants to sleep with me, that's okay. I just don't think it's a problem. Because I'm not playing into a frame. I didn't start the YouTube channel for her. You know what I'm saying? And also, I don't know. It looks like you have a Sky Dweller on, or is that a Daytona? The watch you have on? I can't tell.
No, this is a regular guest watch.
Okay. If a girl may like your watch, you got it. I bought a Rolex recently because I like to network with other people when I speak at Tai Lopez events. But girls would like that also. I'm just saying we can passively do things as men, have deeper voices, become better public speakers, become better leaders, or build a brand on social media that garners attention from women. And the girls may want to sleep with us because of it. And I think where we're going to differ is I don't mind sleeping with girls who like me because they saw one of my ads.
And Michael, this is what I would say with that. I'll respond to that as this. If I'm in the street and a woman's like, oh, snap, Locario, I saw your stuff. I like your stuff. And she's giving me that attention, right? And I'm attracted to her physically. I might talk. I'll talk to her, right? And I say, hey, then this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, hey, take your phone out and put my number in it, right? And then let's say she says, no, you take out your phone and put my number in. I'm going to say, have a nice day. And I'm going to walk away. Because so what I'm saying is I'll welcome the girl who's going to like fucking recognize me and all this other shit. But if she doesn't follow what I'm saying, I'm not fucking with her. That's
so you're looking for addition. You're looking for. Sorry, I was on the wrong.
Right, I'm looking for cooperation.
Additional So we say compliance, but cooperation. Right. I understand.
Right,
that makes sense.
Right, because her liking me because of my podcast has nothing to do with if she's going to cooperate with me or not. You understand what I'm saying?
I think she might be a little bit more likely, right? Because here's the thing: you have guys who buy your program because they've seen your content.
Right.
If people see, it's a concept in psychology called mirror exposure. If people see your stuff, you guys understand. One of the things that causes guys to buy your program, your Steve, Locario, one of the things that causes guys to buy your program actually is the number of hours they watch you. So seeing you over and over again causes a lot of times for women to become attracted to you. And so that's the other reason why Social Circle works. I can passively just live my life being a cool guy, and she keeps seeing me and becomes attracted, but she wasn't initially attracted. I'm generating attraction in her, but I'm not doing it for her. I'm just getting in better shape for me. I'm becoming a better leader for me. I'm hosting better events for me, and she becomes more attracted because of it. That's what I'm trying to say. And then if a woman who wasn't attracted becomes attracted and wants to sleep with me, I'm okay with sleeping with her, even if she wasn't attracted.
Right. And see, I think the disconnect too, and I see what you're saying. The issue is this, right? Is that I'm looking at everything. So when a woman is not cooperative, that means that there's going to be future resistance later on. So, for example, I've been on YouTube for fucking 15 something years, right? Now, I challenge you to any of you guys to find a video or anything about me having issues with any woman, or a woman coming out saying Locario did this, or fuck that nigga Locario, and blah blah blah. You can't find none nowhere. And I've dated thousands of women, and I've dated hundreds of women. Now, notice, check this out. Someone like an Andrew Tate, and again, this is not me getting on him, but someone like an Andrew Tate, or you even have that, what's that pickup artist named Denmo? He got into some bullshit the other day. And you have all these other people who, because they go with women who give them resistance, that causes you to have drama with women. I don't have drama with women. Why? Because I only deal with women who cooperate on a consistent basis. And when they don't cooperate, I don't fuck with them. That's why I don't have drama. That's why I don't have arguments. That's why I don't have women who don't listen to me, because I only deal with women who listen to me. So if that woman saw me on the street and she recognized me from my podcast and was like, oh, I'm attracted to you because you're doing all this cool shit. Okay, well, hey, sweetheart, that's cool. Well, listen, I'm going to need you to do this. As soon as you show me you ain't going to do the shit that I'm saying, I'm not fucking with you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care if you like me because of my watch. I don't care if you like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
Period. Okay, Eric called the time card, so I'm going to mute everyone, and Eric can take this for 2 minutes starting now.
Oh, there we go. I'm unmuted. Okay, so look, here's the deal. I've said a lot in our previous debates. I've been just kind of hanging back here, enjoying the show. If you guys want to hear my opinions in more nuance, go watch my first 2 debates with Markus and my other debate with Locario. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again, and then I'm going to get to a new point. Most women are open to fast escalation. They're open to direct game, just not most of the time, because logistics aren't good. Having good game can increase your logistics, can make it easier for you. But regardless of game, women are generally not open to super fast, direct, depending on the situation. Maybe if you're doing a day game approach, you can approach her more directly, but in a social environment, indirect and solid game, slowing things down a bit, letting her acclimate to your personality is the way to go. Now, there's science to back up what I'm about to say, but you know it from your own experience as well. We can divide guys shrewdly into the lover and the provider, if you will, right? And there's evidence that shows when women are looking for hookups, they tend to value certain things over others. They value looks, risk-taking, dominance, all the traditional masculine things that we know that women want according to the science. When they're looking for hookup, when they're looking for a long-term relationship, they tend to value things like stability, intelligence. Is this guy going to be a good father, a good husband? As I said before, the more attractive the woman thinks she doesn't have to actually be more attractive, but the more attractive she thinks she is compared to other women, the more her behavior starts to change. She wants the best of both the provider and the lover. And that's for long-term relationships, and it's for short-term hookups. So when we approach a woman and we go direct and we ask her to make a decision right away if she likes us or not, she generally needs to get to know us just a little better, whether it's for a hookup or a long-term relationship. I am generalizing when I say all this. These are generalizations, yes, but that's what the debate is. The debate isn't how do you want to game and what's the optimal way to game. The debate is what is generally the best rule of thumb for guys that are learning the game, that want to improve their game. Demonstrate your personality. Don't make her decide if she likes you. Play her a few sample songs before asking if she wants to buy the whole album. And don't escalate so fast as a general rule either. Pace it. Go slow. This is backed by science. It's backed by experience. It's backed by even just observation. Even you guys that don't have a lot of experience that are watching this, just use your common sense. Go look at the guys that are good with women, and you'll find what I just said to be pretty spot on.
All right. So my question with you, Blaze, would be, how does one tell the difference between the woman who is actually interested in you sexually or the woman who's playing the long game
just to get your attention. Is she reciprocating?
Okay, so what is she reciprocating? Because if you're in the friend zone,
when I try to get to know her, and I try to ask her out and I try to escalate the interaction, does she reciprocate or does she push back against it?
Right. So she says, yes, Blaze, I want to go out and get dinner with you. Does that mean that she actually is really interested in you sexually?
Generally speaking, yes. Generally speaking, women don't go out to dinner with guys because they need free dinners. I know it sounds crazy. I know the red pill community. I know the red pill community says otherwise, but generally speaking, women aren't wasting their time getting all dolled up for free fucking dinner.
So most of the time, I agree with Locario. So you're saying most of the time, women are going out to dinners with guys that they're sexually interested in. Like that's
yes. Most of the time, when a girl goes out with a guy, she'd rather stay home and watch Netflix by herself than go out with a guy that she's not interested in. What did she needs a free dinner that bad? I mean, sometimes they do it. I've certainly heard women talk about it. Yeah, during COVID, there was this girl during COVID that used to get guys on Zoom calls and used to make them order her DoorDash. So she'd sit there and eat DoorDash for free, be on a Zoom call and be like, okay, see ya, talk to you later. That happens, but those are bottom feeder girls.
This is what I'm saying.
That's not the normal girl. That's not the high value girl.
My bad. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, but you said you going out with them motherfuckers, man. You just said
I'll go out to dinner with a girl.
Man, but that's what I'm saying. Yo, look, okay, I understand. Look, I get y'all keep using these words.
I know it's too rational, isn't it? It makes too much sense.
No, stop using words, bro. You just use words like open. I don't know what it means.
No, I know I'm dead serious.
Open, neg, demonstrate high value.
I welcome you two guys to join me on Monday with a real pimp who has quote unquote game, and I can't make this up. I want y'all to use that bullshit you're saying. That's fake. You're using analytics and book smarts. That's not game.